Welcome to Football Focus. Hope you're all having a great day. Before we kick off, if you love football, hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Let's dive in. Arsenal transfer news live. Eberechi Eze closing in. Lookman hijack in motion. Baleba watch heats up. Arsenal's summer transfer window has exploded into life with a wave of high-profile pursuits that have set pulses racing among the Emirates faithful, and right at the heart of it all is the pursuit of Eberechi Eze, the dazzling Crystal Palace playmaker whose vision and flair have lit up the Premier League in recent seasons. As negotiations between Arsenal and Palace edge closer to an agreement believed to be worth around £55 million, with £30 million paid up front, and the remainder structured in performance-related add-ons, although Palace remain reluctant to sanction the move until they secure a suitable replacement for their talisman, a situation that has injected an extra layer of intrigue and tension into the saga, especially after Eze's heroics in last season's FA Cup final, where he scored the winning goal to deliver Palace their first major trophy and cement his status as a player who can decide the biggest matches on the biggest stages. Arsenal's hierarchy, led by sporting director Aidu, see Eze not merely as a signing but as a transformative presence who can add creativity, unpredictability, and end product in the final third, complementing the likes of Bukayo Saka, Martin Odegaard, and Gabriel Jesus. And while the personal terms with the player are understood to be all but agreed, the sticking point remains Palace's insistence on keeping him available for the Community Shield, as manager Oliver Glasner has publicly stated, a stance that has mildly disrupted Arsenal's planned unveiling, but has not dampened their determination to get the deal over the line in the coming days. Alongside Eze, Arsenal have been quietly but aggressively exploring a second marquee addition in the shape of Ademola Lookman, the Nigerian international currently plying his trade at Atalanta, whose stock has risen sharply after a series of match-winning displays in Serie A and Europe. The Gunners' interest in Lookman initially emerged as a contingency plan in case the Eze deal hit a brick wall, but recent developments have elevated him into a genuine target regardless, with sources in Italy claiming that Lookman has grown increasingly unsettled amid what he sees as broken promises from Atalanta's board regarding his career progression, prompting him to skip training sessions in a form of strike action to force a move. And with Inter Milan previously hovering, Arsenal's willingness to pounce has suddenly given the transfer an entirely different complexion, particularly given Lookman's ability to play across the front three, his knack for beating defenders one-on-one, and his track record in big-game situations, most notably his brace in the Europa League final, which secured Atalanta's first continental silverware. Arteta's admiration for Lookman stems not only from his technical qualities, but also from the tactical flexibility he offers, something that would prove invaluable if Leandro Trossard departs or if other attacking options are trimmed from the squad in the coming weeks. And while Eze would bring guile and a natural playmaker's instinct, Lookman's directness and explosiveness would add a different but equally potent dimension to Arsenal's attacking arsenal, making the prospect of signing both more than just a fanciful dream, particularly if the club manages to raise further funds through player sales before the window closes. In the background, Carlos Baleba's name has been linked to Arsenal in various speculative reports, the talented Lille midfielder seen by some as a potential long-term successor to Thomas Partey, though concrete developments on this front remain scarce, and sources close to the player have downplayed the immediacy of any move. Still, given Arsenal's recent history of working discreetly on deals before making sudden breakthroughs, Baleba cannot be entirely ruled out, especially as the midfield area is one Aidu and Arteta are keen to refresh with both youth and dynamism. The overall picture is one of a club operating with a clear plan, but also with the agility to pivot when opportunities arise, a strategy that has seen Arsenal not only close in on one of England's most gifted creative players in Eze, but also position themselves to hijack a deal for one of Serie A's deadliest wingers in Lookman. all while keeping tabs on promising midfield talent like Baleba. The coming days promise to be decisive, and if Arsenal manage to secure even 2 of these targets, they will have sent an emphatic message to their Premier League rivals that they are not merely aiming to compete for the title, but to dominate the domestic and European stage in the seasons ahead. A statement of intent that will undoubtedly keep the Emirates crowd on the edge of their seats until deadline day passes and the dust finally settles on what could be one of the most thrilling transfer windows in the club's recent history. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to Football Focus News for more breaking updates, inside stories, and club-exclusive reports.